Okay, so Bright is the newest Netflix film and it's the newest film directed by David Ayer, and it is a fantasy urban crime film and stars Will Smith and Joel Edgerton and written by Max Landis. So the basic plot of this movie is that Bright is set in an alternate present day, and you have humans, orcs, fairies, and elves, and they have been oculating and living together since the beginning of time. And so you have these two police officers, one of them who is a human and the other one is an orc, and so they have this routine to do. And basically one night, they have this routine that will alter the future of the world as they know. And so they're battling both their orcs and personal differences, as well as an onslaught of enemies. They work together to protect a young female elf and a thought to be forgotten Rel character, which is in the wrong hands could be destroying everything, a relic. And that's basically the plot of Bright. This movie, I knew that it was David Ayer directing because I like David Ayer. He's a good writer, and I am one of the few people who enjoyed Suicide Squad. I love Fury, by the way, and I have to say that this movie, it was pretty interesting when I saw a trailer. It was a pretty good thing. You got orcs, dwarves. It sounded like a pretty interesting idea. But after watching the movie before Christmas, I have to say that Bright was a good another good one from Netflix. This has been met with a lot of bad reception, and Bright, I do not think is a bad movie. Bright is actually a pretty good movie. It's not a perfect movie, of course. It does have a little bit of racial stuff in it because this movie is focusing on real world stuff like racism and things that are happening. But I have to say that I was into it. Also, I feel like the cursing in this movie got a little bit too out of hand, but it's TVMA and it's Netflix we're talking about, so of course that is to be expected. It is to be expected, and it is to be somewhat cool. And I will have to say that some of this movie does drag a little bit, only for the film being an hour and 57 minutes. But I think that this movie is a pretty entertaining at best film. There's a lot more good than bad. First of all, I do love this premise with orcs, humans, fantasy creatures, elves, centaurs, etc., etc., all of them living in peace together. I like that premise. I like that whole idea. Max Landis handles it pretty well here with the writing stages. Some of the writing could have got a little bit better, but I have to say the effects in here look great in here, and I think the soundtrack is really good, and you have a pretty good title sequence here. And Netflix, this is their very first big budget movie, because they always make low budget stuff like under stuff, but they're not low budget movies. They're pretty insane movies like 1922, Gerald's Game, 13 Reasons Why, Stranger Things, and this was a risk that they took, and I think the result is pretty good. The acting in here is really great. There is a couple of actors I don't care for. Margaret Cho, she was just there. Barinholtz was also just there, but he was much better here than he was in Snatched. I will say that the cast in here is just pretty good. I love the performances in here. All the performances in here are just great. Will Smith, Noomi Rapace, Joel Edgerton, and Lucy Fry, Edgar Ramirez. They're all pretty great in here. The rest of the actors here too, and you also have Machine Gun Kelly, Future, Ty Dolla $ign in here. I thought that was pretty funny. The soundtrack is also really nice too. And I won't say a whole lot about this movie because I don't want to spoil anything for those who do want to give this movie a shot. But I think Bright is another one of the most underrated films of 2017. I think it's a very good film. I was enjoying this movie, and Zach Pope also really likes this movie. I'm giving him a big shout out here. Go check out his channel. And I have to say that this movie really did satisfy me as a big sci-fi fantasy film fanatic. But as a movie fanatic, it does have problems. It's not perfect, but I wasn't expecting perfection. I was expecting a watchable good movie. And that's what Bright is, a watchable good movie. So I'm going to give this movie an Epictastic. Let me know what you guys think of this movie down below. Do you like it? Do you not like it? And if you hate this movie, I want to know why you hate this movie. So, let me know what you guys think. And I'll see you guys in another video. And if you like this, you can come here and we can have a good time.